SEC Media Days are sponsored by Yellowhammer Roofing.
The goal for all 16 member institutions within the Southeastern Conference to bring home that trophy, the College Football National Championship, 12-team college football playoff for the first time in the history of the sport as we prepare for the playoff and wrap up at day 2 of SEC Media Days. Welcome in, everyone, for our SEC recap show alongside my teammate Cam Derr. I'm Carl Prather. Cam, you've survived day 2. How do you feel? Do you feel rested? Do you say to yourself, still got a long way to go? We're halfway home.
You know, I tell you what, after you knock out the first day, you're so tired that you just pass out. You get a great night's rest. Mm-hmm. And then today just felt like it flew by for me. I don't know about you.
It flew by, and rightfully so, because we had some really cool teams here. Some brand, I count on brand teams that we know within the SEC. But before we get into the SEC and the day that was for Media Days, we got to touch base with Alabama A&M. The Bulldogs held their Media Days, SWAC Media Days, literally in the Yellowhammer State. Birmingham, Alabama, the site of that event, as Conno Maynard and company in the house as they prepare for the upcoming football season. Amari Pate, defensive back, and Donovan Eaglin, the big fella at running back, in the house. A&M finished 5-6 overall in the year, 3-5 within the SWAC. Could this season be the run toward a SWAC title and potential Celebration Bowl berth?
Exciting football. We got a new defensive coordinator, so the defense is going to be flying around. We bring exciting offense always, so the offense will be ready to fly around. And we look forward to improving our special teams, which really cost us some games last year. And so we're very excited about the season, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Cam, we look at the graphic on our screen right now. In the Eastern Division, A&M picked to finish 4th in the league. Rival Alabama State, their Magic City Classic opponent later this year in October, picked to win the East. Alcorn picked to win the Western Division. Conno Maynard has been at A&M for quite some time. He is a walking, talking soundbite, as you know. Your thoughts are just early impressions of A&M. We will see them in fall camp, but just your early impressions of what they potentially could be. If your picks to finish 4th, coaches and media members believe that you probably are kind of right in the thick of things. A game here or there could probably move you toward a championship, or it could put you at the bottom of the standings.
Well, I think kind of like what we were talking about yesterday, even here in the SEC, about being kind of even across the board. The SWAC is sort of similar in that way that anybody can win at any time, and so that goes for Alabama A&M too.
Absolutely, yeah. Going to be a wide open league, in my opinion. I think your top 8 teams, 4 in the East, 4 in the West, could all vie for a trip or host a potential SWAC championship game, and then of course punch their ticket to the Celebration Bowl against the MEAC champion as well. Cam, we return back to SEC festivities here today. We mentioned the headliners, the Georgia Bulldogs, Kirby Smart in the house, Oklahoma in the house, but we heard from Kirby. Your thoughts on the Georgia Bulldogs and them just being here? Man, they're dominant. They hadn't lost a game in 2 years.
Yeah, obviously an incredible team, an incredible program that Kirby has built over there since he's been over there. But you know what really stuck out to me when we heard from Kirby? Tell me. From Kirby and the players both, they all talked about Jordan Hare and how hard it is to play there, and I just thought that was just something that stood out to me. I was like, we all know Jordan Hare. I believe Carson Beck even called it a curse.
A curse point, absolutely. I mentioned they hadn't lost in 2 years. Hadn't lost in the regular season in 2 years. Of course, the Alabama Crimson Tide won the SEC championship a year ago. We heard from Kirby earlier this afternoon, spoke glowingly about one of his mentors and his former boss, and Nick Saban, and just the impact Coach Saban had on Kirby Smart's career.
Credit to what I learned, because people forget that it wasn't the 9 years at Alabama, it was the 1 year at LSU and the 1 year at the Dolphins. So to have 11 years to work for what is the GOAT. He is the greatest of all time, in my opinion, and it's not really close because of the time in which he did it. It was a lot of, what's the right word? It was a very competitive environment. It was not like a single team dominance, and he dominated for a long time.
Yeah, we just mentioned it, Cam. I mean, the Bulldogs is crazy. We forget that a year ago, they just rolled out of bed and finished 13-1. Wow, impressive. They didn't make the college football playoff. This team is loaded. Everyone returns, including quarterback Carson Beck. You had mentioned Carson saying that Jordan Harris cursed, had to pull out a late drive to win that game. Brock Bowers, of course, going across the middle and scoring the go-ahead touchdown. Your thoughts on Georgia? I think for college football fans, we know how good they are. It's just almost trying to look and navigate this tough schedule this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to continue their dominance. I mean, again, the SEC is pretty stacked, so that anything can go. But again, they're a great football team. I do think the only place that they might hurt just a hair is going to be the loss of Brock Bowers there to the draft last year.
Yeah, and Oscar Delp will try to step in there. Malachi Storks on the back end, looking to try to shore up that defensive backfield there. As you mentioned, Carson Beck still in the fold. Some really good players, just talented. Listen, Kirby's got it stockpiled there. The talent is elite, is as elite as it comes, but the schedule, it looks really tough. But it seems like Kirby embraces the challenge. You got to travel to Bryant-Denny Stadium to take on Alabama. You travel to the 40 Acres to take on Texas. So extremely, extremely tough for sure as we head into the college football season. Well, the Tennessee Volunteers also in the house earlier today. Josh Heupel as a team many consider a dark horse to reach the college football playoff as well. Some interesting games for the Vols throughout the season, including a trip to Oklahoma. For those that are new or familiar to college football, Josh Heupel, a former quarterback at Oklahoma, won the national championship back in 1998. He will make the trek back to Norman as the team prepares for a big season on Rocky Top.
I thought I'd only get one Oklahoma question today, so I missed on the over-under. Conference games matter. Obviously, I'm stating the obvious, right? Road games are extremely difficult. Know what the environment will be like in Norman. But it's a great opportunity, too. That's why you want to coach. That's why you want to play in this league. You get a chance to play on those stages every single Saturday.
Yeah, 2000. That's right, 2000 is when Josh Heupel was in the house there for sure. Listen, the Missouri Tigers, 11 wins a year ago. Who in the world thought they were going to win 11 games? I don't think anyone in the league thought so. You got to remember, Eli Drinkwitz at one time heading into the year, his seat was a little warm. Had to finish pretty well to maybe keep his job. But fast forward, 11 wins later, a win over Ohio State, and Mizzou looks like they're ready to become a contender. Cam, we heard from Eli Drinkwitz. He's always a character. He's a comedian, to say the least. Loves to break the ice. Just seemed very, very laid back today.
Yeah. That was my first. That was my first go at hearing him on the podium, and a character. That's the best way to describe him. A funny guy. I like that a little bit. It shows his personality a little bit. Not so much coach speak out of that guy.
It wasn't. But hey, when you have a team potentially the way that he has coming into the year, you got to be excited about the upcoming year. And we had an opportunity to hear from one Eli Drinkwitz as he prepares for a potential big year in Columbia, Missouri.
Environment to be like.
I'm going to watch EA 25 and just see what it's like. That'll be the realistic we can get. Obviously, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the 12th man and understand the heritage and history of that program, and have heard the horror stories. I've heard about the press box shaking and how intimidating that place is going to be. And so obviously we're going to have our hands full.
Yeah, Coach Drink referencing Kyle Field, Missouri going to make the trip to College Station to take on Texas A&M. Before we go, we want to make sure we send a big shout out to our sponsors here for this SEC recap show, Yellowhammer Roofing. The good folks there have been spectacular for our SEC coverage throughout the week thus far. 2 more days to go as we kind of begin the unofficial start to the college football season. All right, Cam, day 2 over. There is some team from Tuscaloosa that's going to be here in downtown Dallas, Texas tomorrow. It's none other than the Alabama Crimson Tide. Kalen DeBoer makes his first debut with the Crimson Tide at SEC Media Days.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I think that there's going to draw a pretty big crowd out here. I mean, obviously, after Nick Saban retiring a year ago, who knows what's ahead? It's a whole lot of firsts this season for the SEC, including that big storyline there with Kalen DeBoer.
Absolutely. We should see a few Alabama fans mingling in and around the Omni here in downtown Dallas. Alabama has a huge alumni base here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so we shall see if we'll indeed hear from them. The other new kid on the block also will make their first debut here in Dallas. It's the Texas Longhorns. Steve Sarkisian and company in the house, fresh off of college football playoff berths just a year ago. I would suspect, much like we had a few Oklahoma fans here today, I would suspect that Texas, there'll be some fans in and around just trying to get a glimpse of what the SEC is all about.
Maybe just a few.
Yeah.
Maybe just a few. Yeah, no, I think that's going to be the heavy hitter tomorrow for sure. They're going to be out there. They're going to be wilding, I think.
Absolutely. Bookending each other. Alabama will start the morning, Wednesday morning. Texas will recap, or rather end the day as it was for SEC Media Days, day 3. We're just moving right along, folks. We thank all of you all for watching us throughout the week thus far. Make sure, if you do not have it already, our new 48 Sports Zone app live right now on iOS and the Google Play Store. You can download that right now. Literally, all of our SEC coverage is on our app right now, along with our SWAC coverage as well. You can hear from Coach Connell Maynard from Alabama A&M, and you can hear from all of the coaches today and on Monday from SEC Media Days. It's been fun thus far. We will see you back here tomorrow as Alabama headlines day 3 here in downtown Dallas. For my teammate Cam Derr, I'm Carl Prather. We will see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.
Welcome into Gray Television's SEC Media Day craze. I'm Bailey Burmaster. Day 2 of SEC Media Days has officially wrapped up. Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, and Oklahoma all taking over. All of these teams enjoying Dallas. However, Commissioner Greg Sankey had a big announcement yesterday that the 2025 SEC Media Days will return to Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Tuesday's teams pack a mean punch. Last season was the first since 2020 that the Dogs did not lose the national championship trophy. Instead, they lost in the SEC championship game to Alabama. The Dogs will certainly look for vengeance this season. Georgia head Kirby Smart certainly has the right formula cooked up in Athens. A large part of that recipe is quarterback Carson Beck, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in college football. The opportunity to speak with him earlier. For starters, Carson, just went into your decision to come back to Georgia?
I think the biggest thing is just the atmosphere that we have at Georgia, the connection that I have with my teammates. I think that was the hardest thing to leave, you know, rather than like what really made me come back. That was the hardest thing to leave, is to come with the guys. And also it's just a lot of fun, you know, having, you know, one more year in college football, playing for one of the best teams in the country with really good guys around you, that's hard to go away from, so.
After that SEC championship, what is the mentality coming into this season? Because I have to believe you guys have a little bit of vengeance.
I think it's the same every single year, you know. Last year is separate from this year, and it'll continue to go away. Next year will be, you know, separate from this year. But every single year we have the same mindset, the same goal, the same standard. Everything's the same. We approach it the same. We're going to practice the same. We're going to work out the same. So, you know, we believe in our culture and what we do and how we approach it, and it'll just continue that way as the years go.
In the last 3 years, you guys are 42-2. What tactics can Kirby use this year to just keep that winning mentality? Because you have to find it's hard to believe, to just once you're winning at that rate, to keep there.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult, especially in the SEC, to win at high of a percentage, and even just win in general. Each and every week, you know, you're playing a very good opponent that, you know, is going to be very well prepared. They have good players. So, you know, how do you maintain that high level? And kind of like I said, is just doing the same things over and over. We believe in what we do, and, you know, going into the summer, going into fall camp, we're going to maintain that, and then bring it into the season as we always do.
You're arguably one of the best quarterbacks in this year's college ball class. What are your own goals this season?
I think the biggest thing is just, you know, stepping up as a leader. I think last year, I started to kind of go into that role more as the season went on. You know, I wanted to kind of prove myself where I asserted myself in that way. But now that I've been through a season, I'm coming back in my second. I think I've gained the trust of the guys around me, and you know, just stepping up as that in that leadership role is a big time for me.
In addition, the SEC is going to look a little different. No divisions, seen teams, the addition of Oklahoma and Texas. What does that do as far as just revamping this conference?
Yeah, obviously it's a lot different. You know, there's no East, no West, and then adding 2 really good teams into the SEC with a conference that already has so much talent. Just adding that, so it makes it more fun, and that's why you come to Georgia. That's why you come to a place like Georgia or another SEC school, is to play against good, talented teams like that every week.
How do you approach y'all's schedule? Because people could say that it's definitely a gauntlet.
I mean, like I just said, that's why you come to Georgia. You come to Georgia to play in those time games, whether it's on the road, whether it's at home. I mean, you want to play with talent so that, you know, once you get to the next level, you know, you're prepared, but also this level, it's a lot of fun.
Despite another #1 recruiting class for Georgia, their schedule has 10 Power 5 matches, including a highly anticipated showdown with the Texas Longhorns in Austin. Meanwhile, Missouri could be the dark horse of conference. They're a team that's coming off a massive Cotton Bowl win over Ohio State and is fielding one of the more prolific offenses in the league. What does 2024 have in store for the Tigers? Let's tap in with Bia.
The Missouri Tigers came out of nowhere last year, surprising a lot of people on their way to an 11-2, capped off with an impressive 14-3 win over Ohio State Cotton Bowl. This year, the Tigers not surprising anyone because everyone knows how dangerous they can be, specifically that offense. Quarterback Brady, who threw for 3,300 yards and 21 touchdowns last year, is back, as is his top receiver, Luther Burden III. Bird finishing the 2023 season with 1,200 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns. But Burden won't be the only burden on the opposing defense trying to handle that Missouri offense. Cook actually has his top 4 receivers coming back from last year, which means once again that Missouri offense should elite.
Yeah, you know, last year our motto formed into something to prove. You know, I'm sure you guys have heard it. We live by it, and we still do. You know, although we had a good year last year and accomplished, you know, a few things, you know, we still have to go out and prove it this year. You know, for the guys who came back, for the team we have right now, you know, 2024 is all that matters. That's the record that's going to be talked. You know, these are the games that's going to be talked about. You know, no one's going to be talking about the Cotton Bowl versus State anymore moving forward. It's in the past. You know, it's in the history books. So we have to go out and prove it every single week. No one's going to hand it to us. No one's going to give us any free handouts. So, you know, us, Mizzou, we got to go earn it. We got to go. Yeah, you know, I think there's some merit to it. At least in my experience in talking to some of those guys down at the Manning Academy, you know, when you stick with a program and a team for a certain time, you really become it. You embody it. You learn how everything's, you know, every single person in the building. You know, I walk into our facility, I know every single person, staff, you know, lunchroom, player, nutrition, fourth coaches. You know, I know everybody. They're comfortable with me. I'm comfortable with them. So as a quarterback, like, that helps me lead. You know, I know everybody. You know, I know how to get everyone. You know, whereas if you transferred somewhere and you're trying to transfer for maybe 1 year, you transfer to a second team, you know, that chemistry, just no way it can be the same. So I think there's some merit to it, and I think it gives me some confidence. You know, I don't know if I planned on it or not. You know, I graduated early with the idea of, you know, let's go learn as much as possible and see if I can compete. You know, I didn't know what college football was all about yet. You know, I was still new. So, you know, I don't think I was disappointed in that. But it was definitely hard. You know, that was the first time in my life that I've ever not played on my team. You know, I've always been the starting quarterback, whether it's grade school, middle school, high school. You know, I've always been that leader of the team. So, you know, to sit back and have those 2 years of just kind of being away from the in-game action, you know, it was hard, but at the time, you know, I learned a ton. I was able to see different perspectives. You know, I wasn't thrown into the fire too early.
The Tigers opened the season with a Thursday night game, August 29th, home against Murray State.
It's certainly a year of talent, experience, and a decent schedule for the Tigers. Stick with us here on SEC Media Days Craze. We're going to highlight the best from our 2-hour stream on Radio Row. The kicker.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I could do that.
I think her name was Sarah.
She kicked a 50-something yard field goal.
I played soccer. I could kick a 30-yard field goal. Me 10 minutes to warm up. I could do it right now. No, I'm not even blowing smoke right now.
A&F challenge. A&F challenge. We're gonna get you out on the football field and we're gonna stream it. We're gonna.
What do I get if do I get to do the stream next year if I do it?
Yeah,
because that will give me activation to want to do it again next year.
30-yard field goal.
Yeah. What? Y'all look at me like I'm crazy.
No. I'm just saying, kicking a soccer ball. I can't do it.
Okay.
I think kicking the field goal is a lot harder than it looks to be. Like, if you sometimes you watch on a Saturday morning, you'll have regular college fanatics try to do it, and I've maybe seen like one guy get it right, and that's less than.
Well, that's
30
because
yards.
no offense, men think they're a lot more athletic than they really are, and it's so your rec league doesn't count. I'm sorry. I actually have a Big 12 championship, brag. So I feel like I could back it up. Okay.
Sure.
What I want to know is what is the best food you've eaten this weekend, because
we know what yours.
I know what mine is. My lovely photog Lee Smith. I had a bite of the chocolate sheet cake and was like, "Yo, I got to get back to this team, but I need more of that chocolate sheet cake."
That was good.
Did you have some?
I had that. I just actually before I came on here, I was hoping that was on my teeth when I was talking. So
well, we have like 2 minutes left, so I'm gonna eat with chocolate.
That was very
chocolate.
good.
I need to knock it on.
I'll say this too. Like they also had this thing called a mac and cheese. It was
It says mac. It says mac and cheese salad.
It was terrible. It was trash. It was the worst thing.
Whoa! I thought it was good.
It was awful.
Dude, I'm like, maybe I was just really hungry and I haven't eaten all day.
It tasted like some poured chemicals in mac and cheese.
Well, obviously we're in Texas, and Texas people love their Dr. Pepper.
Yes.
They have 50 flavors over there. Have you tried any of them?
I tried the strawberries one, and I tried there was
oh
my gosh!
Oh boy!
Bailey just chocolate cake all over the equipment.
She will never.
I did it. Don't worry, Russ.
Ever again.
Don't worry, Russ.
The coconut one they can keep.
Hour.
The coconut one they can keep.
You guys are haters.
I don't do coconut.
I tried the strawberries and cream zero. Terrible. Another terrible thing.
That one, I mean, that one looked like a no.
There's still 2 days left. We might get better.
I
likes it.
I just hope that you guys have better sports takes than food takes. Make sure to tune into that stream throughout the week, especially on Thursday. Commissioner Greg Sankey will join us, and we'll talk all the topics pertaining to the conference. When we return on SEC Media Days Craze, there's fresh blood in the Oklahoma Sooners talking for the first time as one of the new highlights of the SEC. Welcome back. Brent Venables' tenure at Oklahoma got off to a rocky start, finishing the 2022 season with a losing record, their first in the 21st century. However, there's a new quarterback and offensive coordinator in town. The Sooners are looking to make a splash in the SEC. Let's head to Norman.
Day 2 of SEC Media Days here in Arlington, Texas. All eyes on one of the 2 newcomers to the conference where it just means more. The Oklahoma Sooners and head coach Brent Venables meeting with the media today. The Sooners are coming off a 10-3 season in their final year in the Big 12 last year, and were given a preview of it in the Alamo Bowl last season against Arizona. New era under quarterback Jackson Arnold will begin on August 3rd. For Arnold, he's embracing all of the newness ahead of the season.
Yeah, I mean, we do have some new guys, but at the end of the day, we've all been grinding in the spring ball. We all went through spring ball. We've all been grinding in the off season this summer too, and we have some new guys, but the guys that we got from the portal too that have experience elsewhere, and we don't have a bunch of. We have some guys that it's their first time playing, but we also have some guys that have played other places and will do big things for us.
On the other side, the Oklahoma Sooners bring back a ton from last year's defense, showed signs of improvement in year 2 under head coach Brent Venables. This is year 3 under Brent Venables. How will they adapt?
Yeah, I'm a lot more confident. A lot of guys know what they're doing. They have full faith that every single person from them is going to do their job. At the end of the day, you got to do your 111. And I think, sometimes we do that very well. But to inconsistency. And I think now we just need to eliminate those explosive plays. You know, obviously you got third and fourth down. When we get to the red zone, you know, we have to, you know, hunker down, you know, can't let them in.
Linebacker Danny Stutzman was one of the best last season, and he looks to build on that momentum entering his final season in Norman.
I mean, I'm gonna be a leader. You know, kind of what I do every single day. I'm gonna be the same person. I want to be the first one in. I want to be the first one out. The last one out. I'm so sorry. That's how I done a mistake. Sorry. But, you know, really kind of be like a mini Coach Venable. You know, when all the coaches can't be there constantly. So far this summer, the past few years, I'm running the meetings. You know, I'm teaching those young guys, you know, getting the deep ready, getting the secondary. You know, if the D lineman has questions, I want them to be able to meet. They don't have to call Coach Bates and kind of figure that thing out. I want to be a resource for them. You know, I want to have that knowledge where I'm a little, you know, kind of a defensive coordinator on the field.
The Sooners have a very tough schedule ahead of them with preseason top opponents such as Ole Miss, Missouri on the road, Texas Longhorns in Dallas, and the Missouri Tigers in Columbia.
Yeah, exactly. If we weren't ready to go, what can we do about it? Nothing. You still got to go play football. Yes, we are very ready. We've been working, you know, ever since, you know, getting that hard loss to Arizona and San Antonio. So, yes, we're very ready, ready to get into fall camp.
For Sooners defensive back Billy Button, he has a ton of respect for the quarterbacks that he will face throughout the SEC this year.
A lot of them, you know, the 8 from Tennessee, I'm not sure exactly how to say his name, but he's good, you know. Jackson's good. We got Garrett Nussmeier at LSU, Jalen Milroe, Alabama. You know, the Thorne, quarterback at Auburn for first away game. Every game's going to be a test. We can't take nobody lightly.
The Sooners will kick things off on Friday, August 30th at home against Temple in Arlington for SEC Media Days. Patrick Talbot, WTOK News Reports.
Really looking forward to getting started. Things started here at the end of July. Really excited about our football team. We've got a great blend of both experience. I believe we have, give or take, around 24 players that are going on their third or more years as a starter in college football. And we also have this amazing fountain of youth. We have 52 scholarship players that are either a freshman or sophomore going into this year. We're going to welcome 53 players this season that have never been to Oklahoma in the fall to run out on the field. And that's the 8 scholarship players and 15 walk-ons. We do have, again, a lot to look forward to. We have, I love the direction of this football team and the development since January that's in place, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Oklahoma and Texas definitely navigating a new frontier. Multiple players discussing the fact they're excited to not only play in Norman, but in Austin as well. We're not done here for day 2. 27 wins for Josh Heupel in the last 3 years is enough to raise expectations in Knoxville. We have more on the Tennessee Vols coming up next. Welcome back into your SEC Media Days praise. Tennessee has finished in the top 20 AP poll in back-to-back seasons, something that has not happened in 19 years. That's in big part to Josh Heupel, who has heightened the standard for the Volunteers. Let's some help from Knoxville on what's to come for Tennessee.
Josh Heupel's Tennessee Volunteers are known for their electric offense. And going into this fall, the hope is redshirt freshman quarterback Nico Maleava will be the spark plug to lead the Big Orange to college football glory. Now, he is not present at SEC Media Days. Heupel opted for some more veteran players to speak on his program, but Maleava is a hot topic here in Dallas.
He's extremely confident. He's that way because he puts in work. He's a great teammate. He's becoming a great leader. I'm excited to have him inside our building, leading the offense, and go kick off with him in 24.
It's been actually really cool to see his maturity and his growth of the time that I've been here. Been kind of seeing him as coming as a friend, and especially this offseason, really taking over the team, taking over that leadership role. And I feel like as players, like, you know, we kind of have an accountability factor in him. Like, we owe it to him. You know, him being maybe a little bit younger, still look towards him to lead us.
They're new weapons maybe, but if there's one thing I know about Coach Hype and
in his offense is that he knows how to dial up and use his playmakers. So, I don't know how it'll happen. I'm sure it'll happen a lot.
There's a lot of veteran guys on our team, like mine. Those are my brothers, like, for real. It's fun just to get able to go to work with them every day and know that we all got the same common goal, and we all trying to do one thing, and that's win a national championship.
The standard tendency is to win championships. We're in a race to get there as fast as we can. We've done a lot of great things in the last 3 years, last season included. Proud of the steps that we've taken, but we got to continue to climb. And at the end of the day, you got to win every single day. And this group's been intentional in the way that they competed. They got to finish out, our summer the right way. And when we get to training camp, we got to continue to grow.
It's an everyday process for us. Coach about not wasting a day and doing the best we can, the best foot forward. So every day I try to come in. It's hard. Everybody, life. Every day is something new. But I think if you have the right mindset and you go in there and try to do the right thing every single second of the day, then you'll be successful.
Sometimes feet are easier to gain than inches are. At the end of the day, we got to continue to grow individually, collectively as a program. I'm really proud of what we've done. I think we're third league in wins over the last couple of seasons, but it's more meat on the bone for us to go take.
Coach Heupel will definitely take home a win week 4 when his Vols travel to his alma mater, Oklahoma. It'll be the Sooners' first conference game as a member of the SEC, and it'll be UT's league opener. Heupel was a national championship winning quarterback at OU. Here at Media Days, he told us when he goes back to Norman, it'll be simply switching sidelines. Mark your calendars, that game is set for September 21st. Reporting in Dallas, I'm Lauren Walsh.
When you're looking at it from an analytical standpoint of what they've done for the program, I just feel like Josh Heupel doesn't get recognition. But you say differently in Knoxville. Did they
all across the season.
Stretching to Nashville, yep.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They really do love him, and it is warranted. We've seen him really put the program back firmly on its feet now. I don't think there's really any doubt to that. I don't think that he has come away with his signature moment yet.
That is a wrap on day 2. Day will be jammed-packed with the likes of Alabama, Florida, Mississippi State, and Texas. You'll want to join us to hear all about Steve Sarkisian and Caleb Bohr and how they plan to make their impact in their first year in the SEC. But for now, from Dallas, I'm Bailey Burmaster. Make sure to join us for your SEC Media Days craze on Wednesday. Have a great night.